Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, double honor to the apostles GMS. This is Amna Allah coming at you in another video. And in this video, I'm going to be focusing on the book of 1 Corinthians 14 and 20. And that's when we go into scriptures about spiritual maturity. Because you know, a lot of brothers out there, they watch these shows and they want to get breakdowns, they want to get history and all of that. Yeah, all that's good and all that's cool. That's great. You know, it's part of understanding the scriptures, but that's just part of it. You know, because you can know a bunch of history and you can know a bunch of breakdowns, but you could be a nigga. Just telling it like it is. You can know all this history and all these breakdowns, but that mean you conduct yourself like a man of the Lord. You conduct yourself like a man of the Lord, or you conduct yourself in the manner of the Lord. And a lot of people don't take that into account. It's like the term, that's what I'm looking for. Like a flash but no substance, or style with no substance. Style and no substance is it looks good, but it's not really no substance. In other words, it's not giving off what it is that it appears. So yeah, you could quote a bunch of scriptures and mention a bunch of dates in history and break down a bunch of stuff and bring out precepts. All that's cool, but where's the substance? Where's the character? Where's the growth? Where's the wisdom? All right. So with that being said, let's get right to it. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 20. It says, "Brethren, be not children of understanding." Right, that's self-explanatory. Be not children in understanding. Because children are what? They do not have the level of understanding that an adult has. So be not children of understanding. Children are easily led. Children are easily influenced. Children are easily impressed. They can be a child in a stroller, and you could take, a leaf off the ground and put it in the child's hand. That child will start playing with it. You could pick up a dollar bill and put it in the hand of a baby that's in the stroller, and the baby will be entertained by it. It's just a baby, it's an infant. Okay? Be not children of understanding. Children do not have the level of understanding that adults have. Therefore, they're easily influenced. Their attention is easily grasped. Okay? So be not children of understanding. So you're not supposed to be a child. That right there automatically indicates you're supposed to grow from the level of a child into an adult. And you got guys out there that just don't think. They don't think. They in the camp, they teach or whatever. You got guys that they really just don't think. It's like, do you think that at this exact moment that's the right time to do what you're doing right now? They don't have any foresight. Foresight is seeing something beforehand, seeing something before it happens. They don't even have the they don't even look at things in retrospect. In other words, like to look back. Or let me look back on this particular situation. So based upon that particular situation, I should conduct myself in this manner. They don't think that. They think like a certain obstacle comes their way and they get over it. Whew. Now that's over. That's good. And then they just go back to acting like the situation never even happened. Like they didn't even learn from it. They didn't even reevaluate themselves. They don't evaluate themselves. Because if you evaluate yourself, you're looking at yourself now as it is. If you reevaluate yourself, you evaluate yourself again. They aren't doing neither. So brethren, be not children in understanding. Howbeit in malice be ye children. So if you're a child, you're supposed to be a child in malice. So what the Apostle Paul just did was, he told you shouldn't be a child in this particular manner. In this particular manner of understanding. Because children lack understanding. They are mature. Howbeit in malice be ye children. So don't be children understanding. No. Don't be like a child in that sense. But if you excuse me, But if you are like a child, be like a child in this sense. And malice, which malice means like wickedness. Because children don't really bear like an infant. If I look at the word children,
Strong's G 3813. Pt.1.
Pt.1, a young child, a little boy, a little girl, infants, children, little ones, an infant. And right here it says, metaphorically, children, like children in intellect. That's why it says in understanding. It also tells you be not children understanding. And then it says in malice be children.
Strong's G 3515. Ne piazzo.
Nepiazo. To be a babe and infant. So don't be like children in understanding. Like a young child in intellect. Yeah, ID on. I believe I clicked that. But in malice be ye children. And that word there for children is talking about infants. Because infants don't really bear any ill will towards anyone else. It's an infant. It's not even a toddler. It's months old. They don't really bear any ill will towards anyone. They don't hold grudges. They're infants. So be not children in understanding. Howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men. But in understanding you have to be a man. So don't be children in understanding, no. But in malice be children. So don't be children in understanding, but rather be children in malice. But if you are understanding, which you should be, in understanding be men. Be mature. And how do you grow? How do you mature or grow? This is the book of Hebrews chapter 5 verse 11. It says, of whom we have many things to say, and hard to be uttered, seeing ye are dull of hearing. Let's go to the word dull. If something that's dull, they aren't sharp. If someone is intelligent, don't you call them sharp? Right? So it'll be dull would be the opposite of that.
Strong's G 3576. No thras. No thras.
No thras. Slow, sluggish, indolent, dull, languid. So we already got the idea. They are dull of hearing, or slow, or sluggish in hearing. And when it's the hearing, we know that's going into understanding.
Strong's G 189. Aka.
Okay. It says in sense of hearing, but we know that it's talking about understanding. It's a metaphorical sense. They are dull in hearing. It doesn't mean he was talking to a crowd that was dull in. It doesn't mean he was writing this epistle to a crowd that was dull in hearing, like they had hearing aids, which obviously didn't have hearing aids back then. Like they were literally hard of hearing. No, they were dull of hearing, meaning they were dull of understanding. Like a lot of people out there in the world, and even people out there that call themselves to be Israelites in the truth, they're dull of hearing, meaning understanding. For the time you ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again. So the time when you ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again. So it's time for your sinner to be a teacher. You need somebody else to teach you again. Why? Because you dull of hearing. You were dull of hearing of the things that were taught to you. So when it's time for you to go and teach, you needed to be taught again. Because you didn't get the message the first time. See? For when the time you ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and now become such as have meat as have need of milk and not of strong meat. And then and that's one of the first principles of the oracles of the Most High. You got to be taught. And I become such as have need of milk and not strong meat.